Llamas. All of the llamas. Time-travelling llamas.
Let's just do that. Cut now. Gun. Hellions.
FrightFest review number dos is of Bruce McDonald's new film, Hellions. Bruce McDonald is the guy that made one of my favourite movies, The Tracy Fragments, and... Don't make that face. Most importantly, Bruce McDonald is the guy that made Pontypool, which is just excellent. Like, I really, really love that movie. Anyway, Hellions. What's Hellions about, Harrison?
I don't. So
it's hard.
It
is quite hard.
A woman. No, a woman. She's
17. A girl.
Is that a woman? The girl.
A young woman.
A female.
A female. A 17-year-old female.
Is impregnated. Sounds like it was like Alien did it. She becomes pregnant. It's better, right?
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to be, and she feels like she can't tell her mother. And it's Halloween as well.
Set on Halloween.
Yeah, it's set on Halloween, and so she's like debating whether or not she should be telling her mother. Well, she knows she has to, but she can't yet. And so they all go out trick or treating, and she kind of feels a bit down about the whole thing. So decides she's just gonna stay in and mope and wait for her boyfriend to come so that she can break it to him. And so she's like hanging around the house, and she's like knock on the door, and some trick or treaters there. And she's like, have some candy, but they don't leave. And she's just like, that's a bit weird, and closes the door. And then as the night goes on, more of them show up, and they don't leave. And then it turns out that they're quite hostile, and that they want the baby inside her.
And it gets a bit nightmarish, because like, all of these fears she has about the baby and the whole pregnancy thing kind of manifests itself in this weird, like, nightmare dimension.
Yeah.
Because I struggled, the way, I struggled with this film quite a bit at times, and the only way I kind of settled into enjoying what was happening was to think of it as a nightmare going on in her head.
Yeah,
because it's so abstract at times.
I don't like that. I want it to be real.
You want it to be real.
So I was sitting there going, no, explain.
Yeah, it starts off pretty normal.
Normal in the sense that there are demon things attacking the house and she's fighting them off.
Yeah.
I was fine. I was enjoying it.
It was
quite
like a straw dog style. They're trying to break into the house.
With demon kids. And I was genuinely enjoying it. And then just in like the last half hour, I don't know what was going on.
I feel like there's about 2/3 of the film is shot in this weird, like, it's like a tint. Like, I called it like the blood moon tint.
It was a pink filter that they applied over everything, and I thought it looked horrible.
I liked it.
It's horrendous. It looks cheap and nasty, and it was really putting me
That's
off.
the thing. I liked it from the point of view that otherwise it would have all just been shot at night, just like every other film, which kind of would have got boring.
I think it made it look like a sci-fi movie on the
That's
Sci-Fi
the thing.
Channel.
I thought it made it
on the Sci-Fi Channel, not sci-fi movie as in genre, as in like Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
I don't think it made it look that cheap. I think it made it feel more of a nightmare, which I liked. I liked that kind of Restless from Buffy style vibe to it. Having said that, there is still a lot wrong with this film.
Yeah, there is.
Namely the fact that it's so difficult to tell what's going on for the last half of the film.
Like, there are just scenes where it seems to cut forward to something that hasn't happened yet, and then cut back.
Exactly.
And then cut forward, and then like a conversation will happen where someone says something, but they haven't said it yet, and then they say something, and then they say the thing they've already said.
It's just as confusing as that sounds.
Yeah.
There are times...
llamas?
It's just a random shot of llamas in the middle of the film. That random shot did make me laugh. It did make me feel a lot better about it.
And it really frustrated me because I was enjoying it up until then. I was
that's
going with like a 7.
Yeah.
7. I like demon kids shooting them with shotguns. It feels quite cool and badass. And demon kids, they're cool. And then just what?
That's the word I'd use, actually, frustrated, because it doesn't seem to kind of decide what it wants to be a lot of the time. Like, at the beginning, like you say, there's these demon kids attacking the house, so she starts fighting back, and there's some kind of cool action sequences.
Yeah.
A couple of cool, like, one-liners. And that was where it seemed to be hitting its stride, like you said. And then it just turns into this weird, supernaturally kind of...
wants to be psychological and like avant-garde, but...
And there are some kind of cool sequences like there's a bit where she's locked in a cabin that just starts filling up with blood.
That was fine, because that's something I could have imagined still happening in Evil Dead or something, like in a proper horror film.
I like that,
but when it started properly going weird.
It would do stuff like that, but then it would cut away as if it never happened. So you never really figured out what had happened and what hadn't.
Yeah.
And it really started to bother me after a while, because it got to the point where I was like, well, I have no idea what's going on.
No,
I don't really know what's happening. By the time it got to the end, I still had no idea what had happened. So.
It also, I don't know if I count this as a positive or a negative yet. I'm still undecided. It's a very distinctive score.
Kids chant, yeah.
Yeah, it's distinctive. It's kind of funny. Like at first, it kind of unsettled me a little.
It sounds like sounds like someone took Nelson's catchphrase from The Simpsons and just looped it.
They start by like doing a creepy song and they're loud, and then by the end they are going it's just kind of funny.
That's the thing. I think that's the key thing with this film. It starts off quite good and then just dissolves into a fever dream that's just difficult. Like, I mean, I know you really didn't like the whole filter nightmare style of it.
Yeah,
that's the bit I liked, but we still came to the same conclusion. Yeah. So no matter what this film is trying to be, it still fails a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't go so far as to say this is like bad or terrible. I think it's just an experiment. It's frustrating. It's an experiment that doesn't necessarily work as well as they want it to.
Yeah.
But it's not unentertaining.
I just kind of wish it...
I wasn't necessarily bored. I was just...
had less ambition. This is a really awful thing to say, but if it just sort of went, we're a monster movie, there are monsters...
Dealt with it, yeah.
Good. You want to do ratings then?
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 6.
I was thinking 6, but I think the more I think about it, that ending really bothered me. Yeah. I'm going to go with a 5. Which annoys me, because at one point I was considering a 7/8, and then it just... There is a lot of good stuff about it. It just fundamentally annoyed me by the end.
It's just very frustrating and
yeah.
Anyway, that's Hellions.
Yay. The Diabolical.
Diabolical is kind of like a relatively high concept thing from this new filmmaker, whose name I can't remember, but it's probably flashing on the bottom right now. Basically starts as a haunted house movie, but it kind of jumps straight into it, which I like.
Yeah, I liked that too.
Stars Ali Larter as the mother of 2 children who are kind of struggling because she recently buried their father for whatever reason, and there's a lot of kind of family problems. The kids got anger problems, and they're struggling to kind of... She wants to leave the house because it's got some poltergeist thing in it where these weird corpses show up every now and again and like stalk them around the house. And then she and her kind of boyfriend start to investigate what's going on with the poltergeist.
And then leave it there.
And yeah, I'll leave it there, because then it does start to turn into something else entirely. And I don't want to spoil it even for a second.
But it goes into a different genre.
It kind of turns more into a sci-fi movie as it goes on. It's kind of like what Insidious did, where the first half was like a haunted house movie and the second half was like
nonsense.
A paranormal nonsense where they're going to the nether. This is like first half haunted house movie, second half like sci-fi, hard sci-fi, like...
But good.
But good, yeah. I think this film got stronger when it went into the second half.
It's the opposite of Hellions.
Yeah, because it kind of... I don't know what it was about it. I find a lot of haunted house movies, they're all very similar.
Yeah, no,
and although the beginning...
They all feel like they're either coming from Amityville or Poltergeist.
Exactly.
Those...
So, although I felt like this did the whole Poltergeist thing way better than the Poltergeist remake did.
That is undeniably true.
Yeah, but like, and it did it pretty well, the whole haunted house thing.
Yeah, the ghosts look cool.
Exactly.
They do look good.
It was getting a little bit tired by the time it was reaching the point where it switched over, so I was kind of happy when it changed gears a little bit. And when it did change gears, it kind of embraces this complete other side. And the moment where it takes the jump was a little bit jarring. It was kind of like, I think I turned to you and went, what? Because it does literally just one of the characters goes, and we were just like, what? It is a little bit kind of like suddenly jumping from one thing to another. It kind of adapts to that very quickly and does so really well. And it kind of gets into the new rules of its new genre really well. And it does it very kind of embracively.
And considering how the twist goes, I didn't really feel like there were that many plot holes with it that I think there could have easily been. Like, I could have sat there thinking about going, hang on, what?
Exactly.
But actually, at the end of it, I went, yeah.
It felt like it was knitted in with the film from the beginning, like it was genuinely thought through.
Yeah.
And then that kind of gives it a completely different vibe, but the horror elements still stay in play as well quite a lot of the time. It doesn't, like, completely rewrite the film. Yeah. It just kind of gives it a different slant, which I like. For the most part, the acting's really good. Like, you said you like the kid, which is
the kid, like, cause
surprising considering the kid is not Chloe Moretz, and usually you hate most child actors.
We're going to cut that out. No, I just, like, they were, like, quite... I don't know, there's a bit where they're all playing Monopoly or something. I think it's Monopoly. Yeah, they are playing Monopoly. And they just sort of were acting and behaving like real kids, and it felt naturalistic. And when the director came on and said he was like the only kid who didn't come in like he'd been prepped and fully rehearsed and just came in like a real kid, I went, yeah, I can see that. He was like, he didn't come across like an actor, he came across like a kid. And I thought he was good, and I liked that because it meant that there was more, like I cared what happened to them because they felt like a real family.
I'm struggling to actually find anything particularly bad about this film.
The only, because we were saying the second half is where it kind of really comes into its element. The first half, it's not bad, but there were a couple of moments where it kind of felt a little bit like
slow and it felt like it just needed a bit of a kick every now and then.
If I had like a problem though, the thing that really kind of held it back was I didn't actually think it was really ever scary.
That's true.
It's not like the monsters are good. They kind of like when you get a good look at them, you go like, "Ooh, that's a scary monster," but there was never like a proper.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit more kind of classical in the way it goes about it, which is something I really respect. I think, especially for something as low budget and high concept as this as well. Yeah. It is difficult to say much more without going into spoiler territory, so I don't think.
But it's good.
Yeah, but rest assured, it is good.
Yeah.
And like when we came out of this, we were both kind of like. We both thought it was good, and you said like I don't know, like a low 7. And the more we talked about it, the more we realised it was probably the best film we saw that day.
It managed to surprise me without doing like a big, huge twist where I went like, but at the same time, it's good to have been slightly surprised.
Yeah,
at the very least.
But anyway, ratings. What do you want to give Diabolical?
Because it keeps jumping. I'm gonna go with a low 8.
A low 8. I was going to go with an 8 as well.
So,
yeah. It's a pair of 8s.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think, especially for a film like this that basically, until this point, I'd never heard of either.
No.
From a first-time writer-director. So, it's,
quite cheap, probably.
Yeah, probably really cheap. Go see the Diabolical when it comes out. Right, FrightFest review number 4 is of the really, really low-key kind of I don't even know if I call it a horror. No, it's like a twisted thriller.
It's a morality play.
A morality play.
Yeah.
The film's called Body. Well, we don't know if it's called Body or Body because some of the things have body question mark and some of them don't. But it's the word is body, and it is about these 3 young women who are drinking the night before Christmas Eve. They're kind of hanging about, drinking, kind of being 20-somethings. And one of them decides that she wants to go to her uncle's mansion because there's no one there and they can hang out and it's this big fancy house. So they were like, yeah. So they go to this big fancy mansion and they let themselves in and they party a little bit. And then they soon realise that it's not the girl's uncle's mansion after all and she's been lying to them. And they run into someone there and things start to happen. When I say very low-key, it is very low-key, isn't it?
It's all set in a house.
It's all set in
no big set
house.
piece or anything.
Exactly, like you say, it does feel like a play a lot of the time. It is entirely down to the script and people talking about what to do. And in that sense, it does feel a little bit too low-grade. Sometimes it doesn't.
It's like an hour long.
Yeah, it's only just over an hour long, and it doesn't feel like an awful lot happens.
Mm.
But having said that, what does happen is executed very well.
Yeah.
It's very, very well written and very, very well acted.
Yeah.
There's just not enough happens for it to actually be really good.
It feels a lot like someone went, I want to make a debut film
rather
than make a good film. I just want to make a film that I can finance.
I mean, it's a nice thing to say about a film when you get to the end and you want more of it. Yeah. Like I was sat there, I was like, I could easily watch another half an hour of this film. Yeah. I want to see how much further it can go. I want to see them push it that little bit further. Because it was a little bit cheap, it did feel like they were playing it a bit safe at times with what they were doing. I mean, it does say something about a film when the only bad thing you can say about it is it's a bit unspectacular.
Yeah, and like you said, they're good. They are good.
They are very good, the actors.
Because like, before anything really happens, there's like a 10-15 minute setup of just them hanging out. And they do feel real. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it felt like it probably was improvised stuff. Like because it felt like a real conversation they were always having, and that was good because they felt like real people.
There's a couple of kind of like mini red herring things that just kind of
that's what, it's a red herring
every now and then, but they don't feel significant enough to be proper red herrings. They're just kind of I don't know. I mean, overall, I did really enjoy it, and I was waiting for it. There are enough twists to keep you hooked, I think.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
there are enough.
I wouldn't go as far as to say like I didn't ever see that coming, but there was never a point where I went, "That's gonna happen," and this is gonna happen.
It feels like a really great, like, you know those compilation TV shows where every episode is like a different.
What you mean, like Tales of the Unexpected?
Yeah, or like Darknet or something like that, where every episode is like a different standalone story. Yeah, this feels like one of those, like something from Black Mirror or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Rather than an actual film, it feels more like
a good one.
Yeah, a really good one. Like if this was an episode of a TV show, I'd be like, oh, this is amazing. But because it's kind of this feature film, it feels like it doesn't quite go the full length.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, brilliantly written, brilliantly acted, and relatively well executed. So it does kind of give me faith for what these guys are going to do next.
Yeah, that's a good,
because they are very good writers.
This and the Diabolical both feel like kind of like
great starting points.
You could do good. Yeah,
really great starting points. So what would you give Body?
High 7.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7
because
well.
I want to distinguish the Diabolical as the best.
Yeah,
so high 7.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think 7. If this was a TV show, we'd be talking like 9s or something. But I think
that's
because it is a little bit too low key for what it is. It's 7's fair. Anyway, yeah, that's Body. Welcome back to Real Opinions. This is review number 5. FrightFest review number 5 is Shut In. You can tell our minds are slowly lapsing because we've seen so much. Shut In, directed by some guy that was an assistant on Kill Bill Volume 2. What's Shut In about, Harrison? It's
a home invasion film.
Yes.
In which the central kind of gimmick, I guess, the thing that sold as distinguishing it, is that the main character is agoraphobic.
Basically, she's been living in the shadow of something her father did to her, but you don't know what. So she's agoraphobic. Some men try to get into the house. And she has to fight them off.
Yeah.
And then as it kind of progresses, you realise that there's more to her in the house than meets the eye, shall we say.
Yeah.
Because the twist jumps into play about a third of the way in, maybe. It makes the film significantly better when it does, but overall the film itself still isn't great.
I think one of the things is that we were talking about that central gimmick is that she's agoraphobic, and that kind of supposedly changes the home invasion premise. But it doesn't, because in home invasion films, they never leave the house anyway.
It comes down to, this is just another home invasion movie. There's nothing particularly special about it.
In fact, at parts it feels quite like a less than average one at first.
At first, definitely. More because there is kind of no build up. The bad guys just show up, break in the space of a second.
And there wasn't like any proper hardcore gore or anything.
No. None of the violence in it is particularly inventive or creative.
Yeah.
The bad guys themselves can't really seem to decide what their motivations are. One of them seems to...
nuts.
Yeah, one of them is nuts, but at the same time doesn't look nuts. He just looks like a lumberjack, just like a guy that you just pull in off the street.
Yeah.
The leader of them seems to not want to kill anyone, then wants to kill people, then decides he's a nice guy again, then decides he's a homicidal psychopath again, and seems to keep flipping backwards and forwards. Yeah, it just kind of jumped about too much. Every now and again, it set itself up, like when the twist comes into play, and it makes everything slightly, like it basically flips the film on its head a little bit.
It's not like it's some kind of mind blow. It's not like the Diabolical where you go, huh? It's just a kind of, okay.
Yeah, time to move on.
It's a twist.
It makes the film a bit more different.
And it makes it better.
It makes it significantly better, but at the same time, it's still not a great film.
No.
I think it literally just comes down to that. There's no two ways about it. We can't kind of sit here and chat about it for too long because it's just
fine.
There's nothing.
When we left, I said to you, it's perfect.
Exactly,
average, and that's it.
It's been put together relatively well.
The distilled essence of mediocrity.
Like I didn't feel offended while I was watching it. I was a little bit annoyed and frustrated at times, but there were other times where I was kind of like, "Oh, this is going in a good direction,"
and then it just sort of didn't.
And then it just kind of ends, and it ended in the exact way I knew it was going to end.
Yeah,
I could see the end coming right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Ratings
5. It feels like to give it anything else would be disingenuous.
Exactly.
It's so average.
Because 5 is just like the direct mark. Anyway, that was Shut In.
That's probably the last one of this roundup.
Yeah.
It is. It feels bad to end it on that note, but film number 6 was awesome.
Yes.
But we'll probably have the review up of that before this.
The Hallow.
The Hallow is good. That was our last one. We ended on a high note. So it's all good. It's all good. It resolved itself. We don't want to do a Lord of the Rings 3 ending, but it was fine. It's really.
Stop leaning back on the fucking chair.
I
then.
don't expect it to fly up.
No.
But it was fine.
Bye. Llamas. All of the llamas. Time traveling llamas.
Let's just do that. Cut now. Done.